Valentine's Day. Basically, Christmas part 2 if you're in a relationship. You give gifts, you get to eat good food, and you take lots of pictures. But if you're single, it's kind of like Halloween part 2. You dress up, you go out and get drunk, and you open Instagram to see the things that you're really scared of. Pero imbes na mga mumu, nakita mo mga taong nasa relationship. And you have to face the fear of loneliness. I think this is the one day per year where it's okay to hate being single. The rest of the year, you're a strong, independent man or woman. But on Valentine's Day, you're kinda not. But what if I told you that there's a movie that's both Halloween and Valentine's Day at the same time? Paano kung may rom-com na may halong horror? Spoiler warning, major spoilers for the movie Last Night. And trigger warning also because the film deals with suicide. Because this is the movie where Toni Gonzaga plays a martial law victim. Let's get ready to rumble! How y'all doing? My name is Ryan and I like to ramble about Filipino culture. So if you're new here, please do consider subscribing. I post new videos every single week. And if you're not new here, well, maligayang pagbalik. Please stay till the end for a special announcement. Pero ngayon may movie tayong papag-usapan, so I wanna welcome you all to Sinigang, usapang pelikula na medyo sabaw. So the movie starts off with Piolo Pascual and his Manny Pacquiao-style beard about to jump off the Jones Bridge. But he meets Toni, who has the same plan but backed out at the last minute. So he saves her, and instead of jumping, they make a suicide pact. This is really nothing new. There are movies that talked about suicide pacts before, like Virgin Suicides and I Melt With You, but the twist here is that Piolo makes a suicide pact with a ghost. Pero hindi pa niya alam yun. So they get to know each other, they start to fall in love, and they keep trying and failing to kill themselves. And I know this doesn't seem like the best rom-com premise, it's a little dark, but it works. The chemistry is so good, and I think we have to shout out the incredible dialogue by Bella Padilla. Apparently, she writes screenplays too, and she's pretty good at it. The movie is incredibly funny, especially yung mga scenes na tinatry nilang magpakamatay. There's one scene where they try to hang themselves pero nahulog sila, and another scene where they're in the bathtub, tapos tinry nila yung hairdryer in the bathtub trick, pero biglang nag-brown out. But it's in these funny moments where you see the characters bond and you feel the chemistry between these two. Toni Gonzaga is honestly so likable in this role. When I watched the movie, I didn't want to like her for obvious reasons, pero hindi ko napigilan. She's a really good actress, and she's perfect for this role. And of course, Piolo is Piolo. Kahit medyo matanda na siya ngayon, Papa P pa rin siya. And you remember why he was in all those rom-coms in the early 2000s. Sobrang pogi pa rin niya sa pelikulang to. Especially when he shaves his beard, pag wala na yung Manny Pacquiao bigote niya, Toni Gonzaga starts to fall in love with him even more. Shoutout din pala sa cinematography ni Boy Iniguez. I didn't expect this movie to have cinematography this good, but according to IMDb, siya rin yung gumawa ng Ang Larawan and I'm Drunk, I Love You, so no surprise there. Pero ang ganda ng isang scene kung saan nasa bathtub sila and you see them through a shower curtain. A see-through shower curtain. And it feels so intimate and it is one of the best scenes in the movie. At eventually, in love na nga sila. At ayaw na magpakamatay ni Piolo. So, problem solved, right? Movie over, roll end credits. Nope. Kasi nung okay na si Piolo, hindi na nagpakita si Toni. Because, plot twist, patay na pala si Toni. We find out that Joey Marquez is her twin brother and we get all of this exposition. Toni is a ghost from the 70s kasi no martial law, may fiancé pala siya na pinatay ng police dahil isa siyang manunulat. And we assume na may nasulat siya laban sa mga Marcos. At dahil patay na ang kanyang mahal sa buhay, sinundan ni Toni ang kanyang fiancé sa afterlife. And she becomes this suicide prevention ghost hero person. So obviously, Piolo's like, what? I'm in love with a ghost? Kaya naman bumalik siyang Jones Bridge at nagkunwari natatalon siya ulit. At nagpakita naman si Toni. Toni becomes the ghost of Christmas future and she shows Piolo what could happen kung tumalon nga siya. At pagkatapos nun, hindi na suicidal si Piolo. Gusto na niyang ayusin yung buhay niya. And the movie ends as he's trying to put back the pieces of his broken life. Overall, I think it's a pretty decent movie. It's a typical Joyce Bernal rom-com with lots of interesting moments and lots of kilig. But there were also things that I wish the movie could have done better. Gusto ko sana mas may foreshadowing yung plot twist na taga-70s pala si Toni. Oo, may mga dyaryo at may mga scenes kung saan kumakanta si Toni ng 70s or 60s songs. Pero para sa akin, kulang pa rin. I wish that martial law was a bigger part of the plot. Na may connection naman si Piolo doon sa mga nangyari noong 70s. Para may similar silang problema. In the movie, Piolo has a Canadian stepfather. So I think it would have been easy to make his father someone who was killed during martial law so that him and Toni would have had more things in common. But I think those things can be overlooked if you just want to turn your brain off and enjoy the movie. Enjoy mo na lang yung kilig. And honestly, when the plot twist happened, I didn't expect it. And I got goosebumps watching the scene. But I think the fact that can't be overlooked is that Toni Gonzaga actually played a martial law victim. And I know what you might be thinking. Ryan, yung boyfriend niya yung pinatay. Hindi naman siya victim, diba? Yung boyfriend niya yung victim. Okay, you can say that if you want, but I think you're very wrong. People who've lost loved ones are victims too. And when you're acting, kahit nagkukunwari ka lang naman, you still feel real emotions. Like let's say nagdidilig ka sa garden. Tapos, you feel the snake dito sa may leeg mo. Malamang sisigaw ka, diba? At kahit nalaman mo na hose lang pala yun sa leeg mo at hindi snake, in that moment, you still felt what it was like to have a snake by your neck. And it's the exact same thing with acting. Kung isang eksena, nalaman mo na yung boyfriend mo pinatay dahil sa mga inulat niya tungkol sa martial law, ramdam na ramdam mo yung pain ng character mo. Ramdam na ramdam mo yung galit sa police, yung galit sa administration, and these tears are real tears. It's not like the director just yelled cut and then someone put eye drop sa mata ni Toni, diba? Talagang lumuha siya dahil sa mga nangyari sa character niya. What's even worse is that this movie came out in 2017. 2 years after her wedding, kung saan kinuha niyang ninong si Bongbong Marcos. Which doesn't really make sense to me. Because if you believe the Marcoses that all the human rights violations, all the abuses were just lies, then why would you do this movie? That's like if Angelica Panganiban suddenly makes a movie about Traliano gold. Which, by the way, even the Marcoses have said is not true. So, is it all just for the money? The money she got when Bongbong Marcos was the ninong at her wedding. Yung pera na nakuha niya bilang talent fee noong ginawa niya yung pelikula. At pera na naman para mag-campaign para kay Marcos ngayon. Which if we believe the rumors are hundreds of millions of pesos. I mean, maybe? We really can't say for sure. But we can say for sure that Toni knows that the Marcos era wasn't the golden age. Her character knew it, so she knows it also. And now she's trying to spin it as a war on cancel culture, where people cancel each other just for different opinions. And I guess there is a point there, because sometimes we do go too far. But there are also times where cancel culture is in the right. Like, right now. I mean, Eric Mati has chimed in, and a lot of the best filmmakers in the Philippines have chimed in as well. But that being said, I don't think this means she'll be out of a job. At may mga director naman tulad ng asawa niya at ni Daryl Yap na pro-Marcos. Not very good directors, but directors nonetheless. These are people who make movies like this. And this. And this. Actually, her last movie was called The Exorcist, which was credited for single-handedly ruining MMFF 2021. So, I guess it's fine. They can keep making their bad movies, and here on the channel, we can enjoy the good ones. Without her. So kung tinanong mo ako, dapat ko bang panoorin yung pelikulang to? Sasabihin ko, oo naman. There is lots of kilig, the chemistry is really good, and I think this movie is still very relevant. It's important to see the era of martial law and the era of the Marcoses depicted on screen. So we know that we can say never again. And I guess it's fun also to see the hypocrisy of Toni Gonzaga, which I think gives this movie an extra layer. Kung nasa school pa tayo, I would give this movie an 85. A solid B. So thank you so much for watching, and like I mentioned at the start, I have a special announcement for all my subscribers. Channel memberships. This is a way for you to support the channel. For as little as 50 pesos, you can help me continue to make the videos that I make. And if you like my content, please do consider joining. Marami naman tayong perks para sulit yung bayad nyo. So press the join button to see what those perks are. Hindi siya automatic na mag-join ka. You can just see what it's about and then you can decide from there. But speaking of perks, special shout out to our first ever channel member, Ashley Martelino. She purchased a Mother Lily membership, which means she is now a producer of the channel. And at the end of every single video, she will get a special shout out. So if you want to do the same, there is a join button down below. Press it, but of course, no pressure if you don't want to. Just your love and support means the world to me already. But I do hope that you can leave a comment and like this video. It helps out the algorithm a lot. And while you're here, why not follow me on my adventures? I am on Instagram at _Ryan Rosella. You can like my Facebook page at facebook.com/Ryan Rambles and Twitter at _Ryan Rosella. Yeah, finally back on Twitter. But till next time, peace and I love y'all.
Hoy mga Pinoy, ito na ang medisina, nagbabagong apoy, linagyan ng gasolina, kaya't tinatanong pa ba kung kanino at sino ang tiyak na puntahan sa kulturang Pilipino? Ako na ang sagot, ang dakilang gamot.